Welcome back to ThinkView, and this is Casper. So listen up, I think that this is the solution for thin and light gaming laptops. I have already mentioned this in my review videos of the VivoBook S14 featuring the latest AMD Ryzen AI9 HS370. It has exceptional power efficiency per watt. So in that video, I said that if this processor comes to thin and light laptop, the gaming performance would be excellent. And it turned out to be true. Here we have the TUF Gaming A14. It's still the same processor, but now paired with a powerful RTX 4060, all packed into a thin and compact chassis. This is unlike anything seen in a gaming laptop before. The TUF Gaming A14 has a 14-inch panel, less than 2 cm of thickness, and weight only 1.46 kilograms. It's almost as light as an Ultrabook. So is it any good? In terms of CPU performance, it has been tuned to draw more power, up to 80 watt instead of just 55 watt like the VivoBook S14. As a result, its performance is 8% higher than the VivoBook S14. However, the great thing about this processor is that it's not only powerful at high power consumption, but also at lower power draw, it still has very consistent performance. This means that when you're not doing intensive tasks like graphic work or gaming, the CPU doesn't need to draw too much power. And when it doesn't consume much power, it stays cool, which in turn means the fan don't need to work as hard, resulting in a very quiet system. For instance, I tested it with a popular game recently, Black Myth Wukong, and the CPU consumed less than 20 watts, running smoothly with a temperature only in a 70-degree range. The noise level are only audible when set to turbo mode, but in performance mode, the machine nearly silent. And that's exactly what a thin and light gaming laptop should be. Speaking of graphic card, the RTX 4060 can draw up to 100 watts, which is an ideal number as pushing more power to it won't gain any additional performance. When set to turbo mode, the RTX 4060 operates as a solid 80 to 100 watt, delivering high FPS. I play Black Myth Wukong with ray tracing on, and the FPS remained high enough for smooth gameplay. Only when switched to performance mode did the RTX 4060 drop to around 60 to 80 watt depending on the scenario, resulting in a slight drop in performance, but not significant. Overall, this is an exceptional gaming laptop. So thin, so light, so compact, and still so powerful. It's an ideal choice for those who want to gaming anywhere, anytime, or for anyone who needs a high-performance laptop for graphic design, but still want a compact device to carry around. Okay, now when it comes to mobility, two things that come to my mind. The first thing is the battery life, and the second thing is the performance when it's unplugged. As for battery life, it's fantastic, lasting over 6 hours. Here I ran the ThinkView standard test using Python to simulate office routine, including typewriting, video call, texting, and watching YouTube, all with the screen brightness set to 250 nits and the refresh rate at 60 Hz. And its battery life was comparable to many Ultrabook. This is remarkable for a gaming laptop, thanks to the excellent CPU and a large 73 Wh battery, which is quite generous for a 14-inch laptop. Also, when using optimized mode in Armoury-grade software, the laptop will disable the discrete graphic card when it's unplugged. So if you're only doing office work, the battery on the A14 is more than enough. Regarding performance on battery, it's decent. In this case, you should switch to standard mode to make use of the discrete GPU during heavy tasks. The CPU performance will remain almost unchanged, but the RTX 4060 will deliver about half of its maximum power compared to when it's plugged in, as this is a power-hungry GPU. It's still enough to help you get things done when you are in a rush. Alright, I've talked a lot about the thin and light design, but forgot to mention the look of this laptop. This year, the TUF Gaming lineup has undergone a complete makeover. From its premium feel to its design language, it's as minimal as it can be. Only a few elements show its gaming nature, such as the TUF logo, the Starlight webcam, and the black-gray tone along the edges that add just the right touch. However, despite the upgrade, this also elevates the TUF Gaming series to a mid-range segment. The lid cover is now made of aluminum, but the chassis is still plastic. Of course, this plastic feels solid and just gives a little flex, but it still can't match the precision of the CNC finishes found on the ROG Zephyrus G14. Plus, the HDMI and USB-A port are split along the bottom, breaking the continuity of the design. As for the screen, it is a panel that's very well suited for both graphic work and gaming, featuring all the necessary technology. The 2.5K resolution makes everything look incredibly sharp, the 165Hz refresh rate is buttery smooth, and it supports G-Sync. Playing esports game on this laptop somehow gives you a lot more control over your mouse, even with similar FPS number. There's something hard to explain, but the input lag from the mouse to the screen feels much lower, and making me feel much confident in compared to the Ultrabook with the same refresh rate. The keyboard had the right amount of travel, making typing very satisfying. Another highlight is the backlighting key, which are very bright. A minor downside is that the key foam feels a bit thick, giving it somewhat a dense look that lacks elegance. The co-pilot button is large. And don't forget that the Ryzen i9 has the NPU that has the power up to 50 TOPS, the highest number in the market. But to be honest, we haven't found much use for it yet. The touchpad is large, expanding almost half the entire width of the machine, and there's nothing to complain about in terms of tracking ability. In summary, this probably is the best laptop for those needing a high-performance device in an Ultrabook form factor. Many manufacturers have tried to do this before, like the Razer Blade 14 and Dell XPS X14, but they'll struggle with noise level and surface temperature. The TUF Gaming A14 has managed to solve these issues thanks to the Ryzen AI9 HX370 and a series of design refinement. Of course, this is not cheap, because just look at the spec: a flagship processor, an RTX 4060, 32GB of RAM, 1TB of SSD, a beautiful display, and very generous in terms of connectivity. All of that make up the price for this laptop. But considering its value, it's not expensive, just a bit on the high side. Alright, that's all my thought about this TUF A14. What do you think of this laptop? Will you buy it? Let me know in the comment section, okay? And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any upcoming videos about the latest tech. I'm Casper from ThinkView, thanks for watching and see you guys next time.